But that's also, the mentality also, that you can't look ahead of this game, because if you do, then it's going to catch you, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. I think it's, it's human nature a little bit, but at the same time, it's our job. It's a professional sport. I mean, we get paid to play games, and this is a great hockey team, so we're going to be ready to go. We had a good skate today, and, a good test, I think. Both the games against these guys have been good hockey games. We won one. The other one we kind of let slip away in Florida, but should be a great game. They got a great team.
The rough stretches have been rare for you guys this season. Just what's your pulse on the locker room right now?
The locker room's still great. Guys are super committed to winning. I think the great thing about our group is that, when things aren't going great but we're winning games, I think guys are well aware of the way we're playing. And, we're humans too. We're very conscious of where we're at and our effort and our performance, and we obviously know it better than anybody, feeling it ourselves. So, we're a good hockey team. I think we could show them we can be a really good hockey team, and we can show them we've been mediocre at times. So we got to try to get a little more consistent in that effort. And, I don't think that's anything that we don't already know or that we can't take care of. But, certainly a few games in a row magnified a little bit. But, we're still a confident group, and we like where we're at. We'll take it. And the good thing is we're finding ways to win games when we're not at our best. I think that's a good sign. But we're well aware of what we need to improve on as well.
Ryan, when Coach makes it clear, like he did yesterday, that he wasn't happy with the game, how much do you guys take notice of that?
I mean, I would say if guys weren't aware of that themselves without hearing those comments, they're not in the right mindset. I think everyone was aware of how we felt after the game, during the game, the last few games, really, in my opinion. So, obviously it's a long season, and there's times like this, and you never want to get a coach to that point. Obviously, that's not the ideal situation. You want to nip in the butt before, but I think there's great opportunity to learn from these times. I think things have been so well for us this season that a little bit of this adversity and wanting to be better on a consistent basis is a good thing. And I think sometimes when we're finding ways to win and we're not playing our best, you can kind of get comfortable with that. And I think it's a great opportunity for us to understand that we need to be better on a more consistent basis, like I said, and correct it. I think if you wait too long and you get to a playoff series or you play against good teams, it's going to get exposed. And I think we're well aware of that, and we talk about it, and we've done a good job. Listen, we've had a good year overall, but there's definitely things we can be better at, and that's no surprise, and everyone is aware of that in the dressing room.
What are those things?
Sorry.
I just want to follow up. What are those things? Like, what do you see that needs to be corrected?
I think it's just the consistency. I don't think it's whether it's just a little bit of a mental error or sometimes just making a bad mistake. But I think more or less it's just that we've talked about it, and I know Turk's talked about it, is just the 60-minute effort. I mean, we have a good period, and then we have a not great period, and then we have a good period, or we start the first 30 minutes terrible, and then we have a great 30 minutes and win the game. I think where we want to get to is that consistent effort throughout the game. I mean, things aren't going to go our way. We have to understand that there's going to be penalties, there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be turnovers, they're going to score. But it's how we respond to those situations and how we kind of continue moving forward. And I think that's, the job of each individual line to go out there and, correct a bad shift and get out there and get things back on track. And, try to keep that effort for 60 minutes because that's what the best teams in the league do. You play against, Colorado's and Tampa's, and, things might not go their way, but for the most part, for 60 minutes, everything's usually moving in the same direction, and we're kind of sometimes a little bit all over the place. So, like I said, nothing we can't correct, nothing we're not aware of, but obviously the last few games magnified a little bit.
Has there been a grind physically with COVID, with injuries?
It's been a little bit of a grind. I think we're kind of out of the worst of the COVID. Obviously, it was a little bit tough earlier when it felt like every day we're just waiting for someone to, pop, and it's like, oh, here we go again. But we're not the only team dealing with that too. I mean, we could sit here and make excuses, but there's 32 teams dealing with the same things, right? So, it's obviously a challenge being a professional athlete playing in the National Hockey League. There's a lot of games. There's a lot asked of us, but that's our job, and we're used to it. And every team deals with it, so there's really no excuses. And obviously we have a great big game here before the break, and then everyone gets a chance to reset a little bit. So hopefully we can empty the tanks tomorrow with a great effort and feel good about some time off.
Ryan, what has impressed you about quite his all-star season so far?
I just think I'm just super impressed with the way he carries himself. I mean, I've seen him just take a step, off the ice just as much as on the ice. I think he's super comfortable and super confident with who he is and what he does. And I know that's a bit of maybe a cliche thing, but he knows he's fast. He knows he's strong. He knows he's great around the net. He knows he can shoot, and he does those things. He doesn't stray away from them too much. He kind of does what he's good at, and he's super comfortable with that. And I think a lot of players can take notice in that rather than trying to do 10, 15, 20 good things during the game. Just do what you're good at and do it well and be consistent. I think he's a great example of that. And not only on the ice, he's a great leader off the ice, and he's great for the young guys, a great role model. And you can't say enough about what he's done. And he's done it pretty consistently throughout his career, but obviously the stretch he's been on has been pretty fantastic. And, great role model for all the young guys and myself included. He brings it every day, and he's got a great attitude every day, whether he scores or he doesn't score. I mean, he's been scoring a lot, so I guess he's had the scoring attitude. But he's the same guy day in and day out, on and off the ice. And I think that's what a good professional is, and obviously what an all-star is.
Okay, what are your thoughts about the race for the playoffs that's shaped up in the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a bunch of teams there. Kind of every day I look at the standings, someone else seems to be in a different spot. So, our job is to fight to the end of the regular season and finish the best we can. And there's a lot of good hockey teams, and I'm looking forward to the last 30, 35 games here because we play a bunch of those teams. It'll be fun to play Pittsburgh and Washington, and a couple of those teams we haven't played them much in Boston. So it'll be a good finish, and there's a lot of good teams, and it's a really like I said, every day I check and it seems to be different. So it'll be fun, and it's fun to be in this race. It's what we've been striving towards the last few seasons, and to be in the thick of it's a lot of fun.
Are you upset that Dylan beat you to a hat trick?
I'm actually very upset. I'm super happy for him, but as the older brother with a lot more NHL games, I should have that by now. But thanks for reminding me and reminding everybody.
Just want to know how you feel.
I know I've had a couple 2-goal games and I can't quite get it. So I know I got to get one here sooner than later, hopefully. Now that you said it, hopefully it's coming.